Hey everybody, happy 4th of July. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. This is a big, fun, monumental day. Gotta start with the DC guys, gotta start with this. This is Batman number 50. Perhaps you're already in line outside waiting to open. Perhaps you were at one of the midnight releases somewhere around the country. But this is the big issue. This is the wedding day for Batman. Can't say enough about this book. Can't say enough about the stellar job Tom King has done on this title. I know you're already reading this. I know you're already anxious to pick up this book. But this is book of the day. So I'm starting with this guy, showing you this one. It's got 4 standard covers plus a super rare black and white variant. Like I say, can't say enough about that guy. Get down to your shop today. You got to pick this up. If for some reason you're not reading Batman, you got to read those. Pick up the Rebirth trade paperbacks to catch up to this recent issue. I know I'd say it's one of the biggest books of the year, but there's been a lot of big books this year, so we'll let the pundits decide that. This is Catwoman number 1. This coincides with Batman number 50, obviously. It's another book a lot of people have been waiting for. Catwoman has been one of my favorite DC characters forever. Always like seeing her in her own title. Really excited about this book. Great week to be a Bat fan. And there's a few other things going on too. This is Man of Steel number 6. This is the last issue of the mini-series that will kick off Bendis's takeover of the Superverse. A lot of stuff going on in this book and really excited about that one. Everybody knows I'm a big super fan. Justice League number 3 continues the, I don't want to say reboot or relaunch, but the new direction for the Justice League. Another one of the biggest titles in comics. Nightwing teaming up with Batgirl this week. One of the great classic team-ups of comics history. Like Catwoman, Nightwing is one of my longtime favorite DC characters. Great title there. And Harley Quinn rounds out your Bat titles for the week. There she is, dressed up like Big Barda. But Deathstroke's taking on Batman too. Just can't get enough Bat this week. Want to remind everybody that in honor of the big wedding day, everything Batman that's not new this week or in your sub box is 20% off. So get down here today and pick up some of these awesome classics, some of this great Bat stuff that we've got going on. Green Lanterns and Green Arrow usually roll out in the same week, and that's a lot of fun. Again, one of the great classic team-ups of comics, though you haven't really seen Hal and Ollie together in a long time. Curse of the Brimstone and The Unexpected are your New Age of Heroes books for the week. Been saying this stuff's red hot. If you haven't been checking out the New Age of Heroes books, you're missing out on something like Curse of Brimstone, like Terrifics, like Silencer, a lot of the things they got going on. Fun stuff. Injustice with my man Booster Gold. It's your video game tie-in book of the week. And Shade the Changing Woman. It's your Young Animal book of the week. DC always has much more going on than just the awesome Bat stuff. Huge week for the Marvel guys too. You know I'm very excited about this one. This is Captain America number 1. Picking up after the end of the Legacy thing, after the end of the brilliant Mark Waid run. This thing has a wraparound Alex Ross cover. Always worth cover price for anything Alex Ross. Everybody knows I'm a big Captain America fan. Excited to see this one going in a new direction. Avengers number 4. Much like Justice League, the big Marvel team has started in a new direction. Again, everybody knows I'm a big Avengers fan. This title has been red hot since the No Surrender stuff, so grab that reprint to number 1 and see what all the buzz is about. Speaking of what all the buzz is about, Ant-Man and the Wasp. There's a movie coming, so if you don't know much about these two, you want to pick up this current series or grab the epic trade paperback of the original Ant-Man and Wasp stuff. Again, I'm a big Avengers fan, been a Hank Pym fan for a long time. The Immortal Hulk, number 2, starts that title in a whole other direction. Marvel's got all kinds of things relaunching today, or this week, this month. And though I've been kind of griping about the end of the Legacy numbers, all of these titles have had new artists, new teams, new directions, and none more different than Immortal Hulk. The reprint for number 1 isn't out yet, so pick up the number 2 before it sells out and then grab the reprint when it gets here. That book will surprise you. Great time to be an X-fan these days. This is Astonishing X-Men. This one might be flying under your radar, but there's a lot been going on in this title, so if you haven't been following Astonishing, grab that first trade paperback and catch up. X-Men Gold number 31. I think you all know what happened in X-Men Gold 30. This is the follow-up to that big issue. As I say, it's a good time to be an X-fan. A lot going on in the X-books these days, like Weapon X, or Hunt for Wolverine, Weapon Lost, with my man Daredevil there on the cover. Infinity Countdown Champions is one of the many little minis spinning out of all this Infinity Countdown stuff, because you guys can't get enough of anything that says Infinity on it. This one has Thanos on the cover, says Infinity, and has Thanos on the cover. That's $4 out of your pocket right there. Cosmic Ghost Rider. If you read Marvel Legacy #1, or if you've been following the Thanos title, this character has come out of nowhere and totally exploded. If you don't know who this is, I don't want to spoil it for you, but this is really, really cool stuff. Another brand new Marvel title. Always fun to see Ghost Rider back in comics. Deadpool and Spider-Man Deadpool are your guys in red suits books for the week, unless you count Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. Doctor Strange is one of the many books that's on a new direction these days. Again, I don't like to say relaunch or reboot, because it's not exactly what they are. Just sort of taking the titles and characters in a new direction. Sobolski is really putting his stamp on the Marvel Universe these days, like with Marvel Rising, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. You all love your Marvel Millennials. And Star Wars 50. A big anniversary issue with a great cover. Been encouraging you guys to check out all the Star Wars stuff. They're doing a great job with their whole Star Wars line, with Star Wars, Dr. Aphra, Poe Dameron, Darth Vader. Lando is the current mini that's running, along with Star Wars Last Jedi. I know some of you haters aren't big on Last Jedi, but I really liked it, particularly because of this scene right here. I'm a huge fan of Yoda. Like I say, Marvel's doing a great job with their Star Wars stuff. And a pretty good week for all the other guys, too. Xerxes is the prequel to 300 from the all-time great Frank Miller. If you, for some reason, have not heard of Frank Miller or 300, oh, you got a lot of catching up to do. Good stuff there. Incognito Renaissance is one of the Berger books that's rolling out these days. Been talking a lot about the brilliant Karen Berger and all of the amazing things that she's bringing to comics. She is a singular talent and has an eye for singular talent. Incognito is a great book. Go to darkhorse.com, check out all the different stuff, and find a Dark Horse book for you, like The Quantum Age, spinning out of Black Hammer from Jeff Lemire. There's all kinds of Black Hammer stuff going on. It's really one of the better superhero books that's going on these days. So if you don't know what Black Hammer is, again, go to darkhorse.com and check out all that. What a week for the Image guys. How about some Walking Dead? I mentioned every time this book comes out, every time Saga comes out, I tell you trade paperback people to catch up on your trades, catch up to the latest issue, because periodicals are just more fun. Paper Girls and I Hate Fairyland are two modern Image classics, but Spawn is the original Image classic. Still crazy after all these years. Love me some Spawn. Still some of the best art in comics. If you haven't checked out Spawn in a while, now's the time. Like Medieval Spawn and Witchblade. Doesn't get any more classic Image than Medieval Spawn and Witchblade. That just takes me right back to 1995. And Unnatural is your first issue, gotta have it Image book of the week, because there's always a first issue, gotta have it Image book of the week. And a great week for Dynamite, too. This is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, back in comics. Everyone loves Elvira. Everyone loves a little tongue-in-cheek horror stuff. I talk a lot about Dynamite Comics, talked a lot about them on the podcast this week. They do a great job with their licensed stuff, like Red Sonja and Tarzan. Been saying it's an excellent season for mashups these days. Much like Wonder Woman, Conan, this one just writes itself. Star Trek New Visions is my IDW book of the week, because this is a photo comic from the all-time great John Byrne. Byrne has taken some classic Star Trek episodes, reformatted them with new stories, and put them into double-sized comics. John Byrne is easily my favorite guy of all time, and I pick up anything that he does, even though I'm more of a Star Wars guy. Go Power Rangers is my Boom Studios book of the week, because you guys can't get enough of the MMPR. And it's a Disney sweep for the All Ages books this week with some Donald and Mickey. Another one of the great all-time team-ups of comics and pop culture and entertainment. And Walt Disney's Comics and Stories. Check out that especially cool cover. I always like to mention the great job that IDW does with their Disney stuff. Good fun. And Tangled. I told you it was a Disney sweep. Always encouraging you guys to check out the All Ages section and put an All Ages book on your list. Lots and lots of great stuff. So while you're picking up your Batman 50s and taking advantage of the 20% off Batman sale, make sure you get a good look around and pick up some of the other awesome books that are out this week. I want to mention that next week kicks off our Black Cat Comics Rockin' Milpitas pre-Comic-Con Comic-Con. Wednesday night is the VIP preview night. Thursday is the live podcast. Come on down and sit in and pepper us with questions and comments and heckling. Friday is the gaming. Saturday's movie night, one of my favorite things. Sunday is the swap meet, another one of my favorite things. Go to black-cat-comics.com, check out the events page, look at all the different stuff that's going on that week. Make sure you get out here for one or all of those events. It's always tons and tons of fun. You don't have to spend any money, you just got to come out and have some fun, make some friends. It's a good time. And then the following week, we're off to San Diego Comic-Con. Make sure you follow along with our Facebook page as we hit the sales floor, hit the panels, meet creators, talk to publishers, do all of those things that one does down at San Diego Comic-Con. We try and do our best to bring the show back to you. So again, keep up with the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, all that good stuff in a couple of weeks, and live vicariously down in San Diego Comic-Con. That's all we got for you for this week. You can follow us on Facebook, check out our YouTube channel, check out the podcast at soundcloud.com. Just get on down here to good old Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.